Okay. Okay. Can we start from Andrew Jack? When you wrote, what is your thoughts about the first chapter?
What are my
Andrew
thoughts about
Jack.
the chapter that we've just read?
Yes. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
About this chapter, chapter 8, the Razor's Edge. Yeah,
Yes.
that one.
Exactly. Yeah. That's correct.
What did I think? Well, it's like all of this book. It seems to make sense to you. It seems very simple once it's explained to you.
Yes. Okay.
I find it kind of quite interesting that. Well, I guess it's like the movie Sliding Doors, isn't it? I mean, Razor's Edge. It's you go one way, something happens. You go the other way, something else happens. You know, you're probably always that you're never quite sure which is going to be the right direction. You know, or what would have happened if you'd gone the other way, or something else had happened. But
Yes.
so it's interesting just to put it in, just to make you understand that you're very close to finding the answer to the question.
Yes. That's correct. That's correct. And what the most was interesting to you?
I suppose it's trying to relate it back to some of my own situations, you know, where you find yourself making decisions and where things have happened and good things have happened, bad things have happened, and allowing you to try and understand um, why things have, you know, why things turned out the way they have, or make you think about what might happen if things turned out differently, or if you'd done something different. It just makes you think a little bit more, I think.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Catherine. Hello. Hello, Catherine. Are you here? Okay. Let's see. Wojtek. Wojtek.
Yes, I'm here.
Can you tell me
Hello.
what did you notice in the chapter Razor Age, and what resonates with
Uh,
you the most?
it was a really good chapter for me because I've noticed and I understand that to to do a little bit more what I'm doing right now can get me to the to achieve my actual goal. So to do not, let's say, do not become the second, but to be the best what I'm doing, to be the first. And because there is a just a slight difference between the first person who can, do whatever they want, and the second one. That was the main thing that I've got from the chapter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good, very good. Thank you for sharing.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. Hello, Catherine. Can you hear me? Hello. It must be some connection. Okay, challenges. Okay, folks. Then there are three scenario listed on the first page in this chapter that I'm sure we all can relate to at some point in our lives. The first one is one person just about starts a project where another doesn't start. I'm gonna mute everyone. Um, Wojtek, Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And Catherine, are you here?
Silence.
I'm not sure if she did. Do you have a book, folks, in front of you?
Yeah, I got it.
Yes.
I got it in here.
Okay. Now the first, the 4 points, like first person about to start the project where other person doesn't start. Yeah, is that
Yeah.
Yep.
understandable for you? Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
One person almost complete the task. Another doesn't complete it. Yeah. One person sees opportunity. The other acts on it. one student nearly passed the exam, another doesn't pass it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's basically explanation of this chapter. The difference in each of these scenarios is one word, fine word. And now let's back to the first paragraph, the line which separates winning from losing as it finds razor age. There are many examples of razor age concept in sports, but Bob used the example of the Olympic Games in Montreal. Yeah, the 8 finalists
Mm-hmm.
were competing, and 100 meters. That's the runner who won the gold medal was the one of the 10th of the second faster than the runner who finished the last place. Not the second, but yeah, then but the last. What it means is if you push yourself a little bit more and you really focus where you want to get and push yourself beyond your limits, because
Can't hear me.
that's hold on. Hello.
Hi, Daniel. Can you hear
Hi,
me now?
Catherine. Can you hear me
Oh,
now?
good. Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
But did
yes.
you hear me before? I hope yes.
Yes, I'm hearing you. Yes.
Okay, because I couldn't get
I
you.
was just muted for some reason. That's okay.
Okay, then if you're unmuted, that can you tell me what did you thought about the chapter Razor Age and what resonated?
I can't. Sorry, Daniel, I can't because I haven't read it. I've been really bad this week.
Okay,
I've
okay,
just had a really busy week, so I
okay.
haven't
Then
actually. I've read about 3 pages of it.
okay,
So I have to catch up with that. So I will
okay,
catch up
no
with that one.
problem. But make sure you
Okay.
you follow up basically, yeah.
Yeah, will do.
Okay, cool. Hugh Magru is here. Hugh.
How you doing, sir? You all right?
Oh yes, perfectly, perfectly. Tell me, Hugh, what do you think about Razor Age chapter?
I really enjoyed it. To be fair, I had a wee bit of looked at it, read that chapter several times before. So I think I was lucky enough to get a printout of it from I think myself or Bob probably years ago. So I always enjoyed that chapter.
Okay, very good, very good. Because it's very powerful that we understand the Razor Age chapter, that if you push yourself a little bit more. I was actually, before I started masterminding, I was wondering what we could do. You could easily, the push-ups you do for your stomach exercise, folks.
Yeah.
If you do one push-up today and the second, and you do two push-ups tomorrow, and you do this for a couple of months, let's say for a year, you will be able to do 365 push-ups, and that's creating razor age to push yourself a little bit more and more and more all the time. Yes, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Now, is anyone wants to share what was the most that resonate with you in this chapter? Hello. Is anyone wants to share, or do you want me to continue? Come on, resurrect.
Well, I haven't read it, Daniel, but I was just thinking, just in terms of what you just said there. I know when I did yoga, that I think one of the refrains was that the only thing standing between you and achieving a position or something is practice, and it's practice, practice, practice is what makes the difference. So anything is achievable, you know.
Yes, very good, very good.
Oh, idea, just.
That was nice. Thank you for sharing that. Very good, very good. Okay, now if you read the chapter, and we're gonna go through the slides, okay, folks, and then we're gonna have a conversation. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, let's move on. Okay, a small change can make a big difference. That's what I was telling you. It's basically when you really focus of changing some things every day in your life, it will make a huge difference during the period of your life. That means if you decide to wake up at, let's say, 7 o'clock instead of 8, that's make a huge difference because you actually save 1 hour per day, which is a lot per month, which is a lot per year. And within 10 years, you save yourself at least a year time. Then it's very important that we understand that the small changes can make a huge difference. Okay. And as you can see, a little bit extra effort, it gives you results and gives you the winning on the first podium, which is the gold medal. And that's what you can see. There is loads of people putting the same effort, but the person who really pushed themselves and got it the winning position. Most games are won or lost in the last 2 minutes of the first second half. Yeah, and that was the coach of American football coaches in history said that. Okay, now the second effort is, you can notice in this scenario that if you really push yourself, you can win it. But as well, if you have someone who is, let's say, the team is prepared to really push themselves, and then someone from the team is getting out because of some reason, it needs to be even more effort. Where normally the football players, they just go, we wouldn't get it, and they can't get it. But this team actually got it. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
if you can imagine, water boils at 212, yes, and 213, it becomes a steam. And the steam can where I remember when I was young, and we had the trains, and the steam could give the power to the train, and was using steam basically. Do you remember those trains, those old trains, folks?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where
Mhm.
where
Yeah.
the steam could fire the whole train, and then the train could get amazing power. And that's what it shows. Even the water can tell you. If you have just water, it's just there is water. Then if you heat up the water and you put a little bit more effort, you boil. And when you put even more effort, then the steam can create amazing results. Okay? And here we go, another example of those gold medalists, which I was telling you. Yeah? A little bit more effort, and that's what you are a winner. And it's actually the difference between gold and silver medal is the race of hundreds of the seconds. Wow. Muhammad Ali, or who is the Arsenal supporter here? Do we have any Arsenal supporters here? Oh dear. Okay. Okay. Here we go. That's the champion of 2004. This guy was the F1 racing driver, was 3 times world champion, and regarded as the one greatest of Formula One drivers of all the time. He was such a strong belief in his God-given talent that has made him drive like no other driver. Yeah, this give him a razor edge. What it means, he pushed himself to the limits, and that's what it's about: pushing yourself to the limits. Michael Jordan, he lost loads of things. Oh, here we go. Bruce Lee, um, Tour de France, yeah, and so on. Yeah. Then we've got all those guys which I'm showing you now, David Beckham, are people who push themselves to the limits, and that's why they achieve what they've achieved in their life. Okay, and my goal and my purpose is to inspire you guys to achieve a lot and share with others. Now, the first wherever you're gonna share your vision, your goal, your purpose, the first people, they will ignore you. They will say, bullshit. The second, they will laugh at you. Yeah, ha ha ha, you're gonna be Rockefeller, you're gonna be rich, you're gonna be famous, ha ha ha, you can't do that. Then they're gonna fight with you. And they're gonna put loads of their opinions against your opinion or against your goal, that you can achieve that. And when you're gonna be persistent, then you're gonna win. Then you're gonna really, really win. Okay? What is it in your life that will make the razor age the difference for you? And this is the question which you should ask yourself now. And if you can take a piece of paper, please, and a pen, and just stay with that for 2 minutes. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes, and I want you to write down what is in your life that will make a razor age the difference for you. What action you could take now to take a razor age in your life. Okay? Hello, folks. Are you gonna do this? Say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's do it. And I'm gonna leave you for that for 2 minutes. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Go for. Oh, Mark McCloskey is here. Happy days.
Daniel.
Yes, Mark. Take a pen
Can
and
you hear
just
me,
write
yeah?
down your razor age.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You're on the phone. You're not on the computer.
Yeah, it's just the computer I'm on doesn't have the...
That's okay. Mark,
what do you call
focus
it?
on the exercise, please.
Yeah, I'll just come on there. What is exercise?
All right. The exercise is basically, what is it in your life that will make the razor age and difference for you? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What you could take action on, or what you could create, or maybe a habit, or something small change will make a huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I give you 2 minutes for that. And when you finish, just say, I got it. Okay, folks?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everyone did it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then please share.
Yeah.
Who wants to share first?
I can share, Wojtek,
Okay, Wojtek, go.
because all this chapter is about the result age and the difference that we can do to achieve our goal. So knowing that for me that I'm one step from achieving actual success, or my goal is to stay persistent and focus in what I'm doing right now, in
Mhm.
what I'm going to achieve. This is this is the main important thing to me. To stay focused, to get the goal in front of my eyes all the time, all day long, all year, all day long. And yeah, that's what would make the difference for me.
Okay, and what action you could take to get this razor age?
Don't anyone or anything, take me away from my goals, from what I'm doing, what I have to focus about.
Okay. Okay. Yes, but I mean action. What you could take every day. What will be your reading goal card, or writing the gratitude, or what keep you on track? That's what I'm saying. You know.
Yeah, I got it right now. For example, I can write every single morning the small note and put it on my, let's say, forehead, to stay focused on what I really wanna do, what I really gonna achieve, and to have it on my mind for a day.
Yes. Then, for example, what is the best case scenario? Is very good coaching question.
That's
You should
it.
ask yourself every day in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Very good. Thank you for sharing.
thank you.
Thank you. Um. Okay, Hugh. Hello.
Yes, my man.
Yes, Hugh. Can you tell me what did you write, and what action you could take every day to make a razor age, to make a difference for you?
I think this is slightly small when I just thought about it, but it's something that I don't do often enough. Is paying myself first.
Mm.
Um, I think I've just got over the years out of a bad habit for not doing that. And I think, for instance, for me to get a better age on the finances and growing even further, just make sure I pay myself first
Yes, very good, very good. And then what will be your action then every day?
to assure that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Just to make sure that the business is achieving its targets, and it's focused on the end goal, and that I'm generating the business sufficient enough monies that I can afford me and others.
Yes, and as well you're gonna pay yourself. Then
Yes, of
you
course.
know what is the best habit in the first chapter, Me and Money, Bob
Mm-hmm.
encouraged people to apply to Babylonian law, which makes you create like a baskets, or whatever you're gonna call. You've got one that you save, the second one you give, and the third one you leave. But what it actually does, and actually I've learned this as well from Dr. Martini. He told that when people were even sick and broke, but they were putting like 1 cent in a saving account, or even Brian Tracy said the same, that your mind is aware that you have a savings, and because of that you create even more wealth, because you treat yourself and you pay yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's very good if you even have a glass where you put £1 or 50 pence every day, and then every month you put this into the bank. That means you create the habit of paying yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because reinsuring, I want to not only hear words, but I want to see the action from you guys. I'm not saying only to you, Hugh, but I'm saying to everyone. That's why I asked Wojtek, what you gonna do? You know. Now he says he's gonna write on the piece of paper the best case scenario, and he's gonna focus. Yourself is gonna maybe put £1 into the a pocket, and then put it into the bank every month. You know. Yes, Hugh.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you. Okay, Andrew Jack. Andy, are you here? Andrew
Yes, I'm
Jack.
here. I'm here.
Yes. What will be
Here.
your
Can you hear me?
razor age?
I think improving my focus and reducing my distractions
Okay, improving your
is what I've put
focus.
down. I think in terms of being able to focus on the key things that are important and being able to prioritize the things that are important.
Okay,
and
and
being able to do the most important tasks first.
Okay. Okay, what will be your action then every day?
Stick to my 2 before 12, as you've taught me before. Take the two most important things that need to be done that day and try and get them done before 12 o'clock.
Before 12. Yes. One the most profitable, and the second one was the most. What was the second most profitable, and the
I kind of rank them on what I consider to be the most important to help me get.
Yes, one which brings you profit,
to
the
get my
second productivity. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, you see, thank you for sharing, folks. Really use this, because I got this from John. What do you call? John from The Secret, and he told me that it's very powerful technique, which makes a huge difference when you really apply every day. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Catherine. Hello.
Yes. Hi, Daniel.
Yes.
Yes. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you share
Yes.
what will be your razor age?
Yeah, I think what would probably make the biggest difference to me is just to believe more strongly in in what I'm trying to achieve. I think you really need to believe it. So and I would be planning to use the tools that you've sort of given me. I know I have a lot of work to do to put different things into practice. But one of the things that I can do or plan to do every day is really, I know some of the other guys were talking about, paying yourself first, but I have decided to give myself time, because I'm always saying I don't have enough time to do things, but actually I'm not giving myself the time. So it's a matter of planning, what I'm going to use my time for better. So I've negotiated with myself to do that, and that I think sitting down and you know, writing out things has helped to sort of help me realise that that's what I need to do. So that's the things I'm going to be putting into practice.
Very good. Very good. Then you're gonna pay yourself time first, which means 15-20 minutes. I call this my me time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I have a me time every morning,
Right.
where I do my visualization technique, which is swish. It's very powerful technique. And then I do meditate, and then I walk on the grass, and
Right.
then I
Right.
start working.
Right. Okay. Well, I do 20 minutes meditation anyway, but I'm trying to sort of increase that by, having 20 minutes meditation, 20 minutes maybe focus on sitting down and either doing a visualization or thinking. about something, and then the exercise as well. But I'm not too good at that first thing in the morning.
Well, then you can do this during the day as long as you're doing that
Yeah.
every day. You know, you
Yeah.
doing meditation. Is meditation helping you?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. When
Yes,
did you
it
apply
does.
that?
Yeah. Oh,
Years
I've
ago.
been doing that for a long time.
Yes. And
But I haven't. Sorry, sorry, go ahead.
yes. And is this makes difference for you?
Yeah, yeah.
That was the razor
It's
age
just
wherever
it's
you
very
make.
restful.
You see, and that was the razor age
Yeah.
wherever you made decision to meditate for 20 minutes
Yeah.
every day. Now,
Yeah.
if you can imagine, if you make a decision of visualize yourself become the person you want to become, and that's from the book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and Bob Proctor actually read this book till now, and he
Yeah.
read this book about
Yeah.
5,000 times, and he keep reading this book. And what he says, if you visualize yourself the person you want to become, the person you want to become, for 5 minutes every day, and that's the razor age, because you are seeing yourself in the position of the person you want to become, you know. And this
Yeah.
is very powerful.
Sure.
Yeah, I was actually touched by that, and I decided to run another mastermind group. A friend of mine asked me to do Think and Grow Rich mastermind group, and because of this exercise, it makes a huge difference to him. And now he wants to share with some friends in his place. You know, then it's powerful if you really apply, like you've applied the meditation, and you can notice how
Yeah.
much different make for you. Yeah. Then
Yeah.
imagine if
Yeah.
you
Indeed.
if you put this in the practice and really master that, and create razor age, then will make a difference for you. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you folks for sharing. We're gonna move on. Okay, what make a difference for with me was waking up 1.5 hours earlier. Eddie McGrew, it's actually Hugh's brother. He convinced me to wake up and do my meditation and different things. But as well, I do walk with him in a park, and it's only once a week. But because of that, it creates razor age that I actually wake up now every morning, and makes me as well go sleep earlier. 11, I have to go sleep, and that's my like a clock, and that's it. I read 30 minutes every day. Any books. That means if you read 30 minutes every day, that means you read at least one book per week. And if you do this for a month, that means you have 4 books per month, or 5 books actually per month. Within a year, you've got 50 books, you know, and I decided to do that. Writing a daily gratitude list, which is gratitude books I share with you folks, and it's very powerful. And of course, meditation, 15 minutes up to 30 minutes a day, which I meditate, and I use VAKGO meditation, and staying in the now, and focusing on presence moment, and it's very powerful technique. That's make a huge difference to me, you know. What do you really want to do? And this is the razor age, and the study was that the when 11 Davies Young started the group meetings every morning, and he asked everyone, the team, what they are working on it. This make a huge difference with the synergy in a group, and it's powerful, especially for people who has businesses and has people working for them. And if you create a habit in your place where every Monday you meet and you talk what you're going to do and what is your target and what is your best case scenario and things like that, you will achieve a much greater results than you are having now. But you need to create this as a ritual, or as a habit, and this will make a razor age. Okay, folks, Andrew, Jack, and Hugh McGrew, you've got people working for you. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And if you apply that,
Yes.
yes, and if you apply that, like meeting every Monday and just making sure that they are doing things what they're supposed to do, and they are thinking the way that they're supposed to do, that they are focusing on the good things, that this will create amazing synergy in your group. But it's going to be uncomfortable to starting with. It's going to be, some people might laugh, some people might saying this is bullshit, but if you really focus on it and you say I don't care, we're going to do it, it will make a huge difference to your business.
Okay.
Are you agree? Do you agree with that, or you want to say something? Do you want to make a comment?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. I think we'll try that.
Okay, good stuff. And Hugh?
Yeah, I kind of do it already now, Daniel, to be fair.
That's
So,
good. And does it make a difference?
massive.
Massive. Okay, lovely. Good stuff. Thank you for that. Happy days. Now, you can start with your calendar. Some people, they don't use calendar, or start putting dates in your calendar. What do you want to achieve? Or you can start putting in your calendar that you're saving, let's say, £1 per day, and just making sure that every time you look in the calendar, the first, let's say today is 16th, boom, £1, 17th, £1, and so on. Yeah. Or on your bank statement, every week you're paying yourself £10 or £5 or £50. It's up to you. But as long as you create that, within a year you will have savings, and that will clear, and that will create a synergy in your mind that you do have a savings, that you do pay yourself, and the life will award you for that and will give you even more. What is the number one thing that you can do to get the better results in your life? Work on yourself, folks. And it's very powerful that you do spend time working on yourself, maybe reading the book, or watching some inspirational movies, or something that will work on yourself. It's very powerful. That's what Andrew Jack mentioned, for example, focusing on the productive things, 2 things that you can do before 12, which bring you closer to your goal. My razor edge activities when I was starting coaching, I was usually one of the first asking questions at the seminars. And I was actually, that was my comfort zone, because I wasn't speaking English good enough. But I knew if I ask, I will get a question which was wandering in my head. That's why I always ask you folks, do you have any question? The more you ask questions, the more you're gonna get answers, and the more you're gonna grow yourself. But if you're gonna be shy and sit and just think, that will things appear to you, and mine takes longer. That's why I always was taking razor age, and even I was Polish, and I was trying to ask question in English, in the big seminars. Every time I had opportunity speaking publicly, I was speaking. Yeah, and this is my thing. Every time I have opportunity speaking publicly, I'm speaking. For example, I was approached by a good friend of mine and a coaching client, and he said, Daniel, would you run a Think and Grow Rich MasterMind group? And I says, well, every time I have opportunity speaking, I have to speak. Then I says, okay, Paul, but I'm not gonna do physical one. I'm gonna do online, because I'm gonna be over in Poland. He says, I don't mind, as long as you're doing the MasterMind group. Then you see, I could say no because I'm in Poland, but I know this thing, and this is my razor age. Every time I have opportunity speaking publicly, I am speaking, and this is public for me because there is more than one person. Yeah, are you clear, folks, with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, reading the books, study programs online, masterminds, or attending seminars. That's my big razor edge to grow myself as a coach, because if I want to coach anyone, I have to be fed all the time with new information, with new skills, to make sure that my clients are growing. Because it's silly if you go to the coach who, or you're going to the person, doctor, and you want to get rid of cigarettes, but he's a smoker. You have to go to healthy doctor, and then he can help you. That's why I want to make sure that my life is balanced, and I'm always on a go and attending loads of seminars to grow myself. Yeah. And then you take a quantum leap in a theory. For example, Michael Jordan, have he 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 actually, he was flying like a I don't know, fly, or someone who doesn't feels that there is a gravity on it, because he really make a quantum leap with his razor edge. People don't remember that he lost 300 matches and he didn't score loads of shots. People remember him as a famous person, but before he became famous, he lost over 300 matches, which was relying on him, and people thought, you're gonna win, but he actually didn't. But his razor edge was not give up, and that's the end of the game, folks. We can't give up. Wherever we focus on, grows. And focus on your goal and just go for it. Okay? Why is that so many people never achieve the success they dream of? Yes. You see the Goal Achiever program by Bob Proctor. It's very powerful, and it's actually touched on the book Think and Grow Rich, and it's very important that we know that setting a goal is on a conscious mind. And if you can bring up your stick person, I was sharing with you, and in your conscious mind, which is your thinking mind, which is logical mind, and the goal achieving, or dream achieving your goals, are on an emotional mind, which is subconscious mind. And your goal, folks, it should be something beyond logic. It's actually, the more it's not logical, the more it's gonna be exciting for you, and that's what your goal should be. Okay. And I was thinking to read you one thing from Bob Proctor, which Bob Proctor wants to share with that. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Goal achievers make their goals worthwhile. There are people always play safe. They never tackle more than they are sure they can handle without effort and risk. Trust they invite neither triumph or defeat. They never learn and greatness of their mental ability or strength of their endurance. On the goal achiever, potential pathfinders early in search of trail of blaze. Make sure your goal is big and interesting enough to really fire up your emotions. Goal achievers make their own decisions. Only you can decide what your goal is and what it's going to be. Through another person, you suppose pattern employer or associate might offer suggestions. You and only you can make the final decision. There is no one in the entire world capable of setting your goal for you. If they try, and they probably will, do not permit it to happen. You will not commit yourself to someone else's goal, or one that you set to please someone else. Did you got it? It's basically you can set your own goal or work rest of your life for somebody else's goal. It's your choice. Are you gonna work for your goal or are you gonna work for somebody else's goal? Okay. If you could have £1 million mindset, which would if you could have £1 million or £1 million mindset, which would you choose? Most lottery winners are up less money than they had before when they won the lottery. It basically, if you take if you give person a million pounds, and I remember my father had a friend who won a big lottery, and he was a very wealthy guy, but he actually spent all the money, and he actually drink so much that he killed himself because of the drinking. And sometimes if some people gets loads of money, it could be disaster for them. Then you have to be prepared. But for today, we're not going to talk about that. What I want to concentrate is, what would you choose, £1 million or £1 million mindset?
£1 million mindset.
Why is that?
Because it make plenty more than just 1 million.
Yes, but if I give you £1 million now, then would this not do you?
It wouldn't do me, Daniel. I'd have spent by now.
Exactly. But yes, that's well said. I'm just asking. Exactly. Then it's better to have £1 million mindset, because you can generate more. That's even you can take £1 million from the millionaire, and he's gonna make it again. But if you give £1 million to person who never make millions, he will just spend all the money on cars and travels and whatever, and then he will be left with no money. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, this is from Napoleon Hill. An educated person is not necessarily one who has an abundance and specialized knowledge. An educated person is one who has so developed the faculties of their mind that they may acquire anything that they want, or its equivalent, without violating the rights of others. What it means by that, educated person is one who has developed the faculties of their mind, which I was sharing with you folks, and I'm gonna share on the MasterMind or other courses. And it's very powerful that we really implement and apply that to our lives, because that makes a razor age. Okay? And that's what Napoleon Hill said. Okay, folks, I would like to hear you. What did you think about it, and what you could implement even more now? Because Andrew Jack and Hugh McGrew and Catherine and Wojtek, you've shared some of your experience, and from each other we can learn as well. Then what else you could do? What else you could apply?
For me, Wojtek again.
Mm-hmm.
For me, definitely, I would apply. I have to apply, or I want to apply as well, to put, as you said, the £1 every day to my saving account to make actual habit. Because I knew the exercise, or however you're gonna say it, but I always think, it's not gonna work. It's not for me. I haven't got enough money to save £30 per month. But I understand right now to develop actual habit, and even if it can take six months or a year or even more, I know that in the end of the day it's gonna make me some money.
Yes, but yes, it will make you money. But the most important thing that you have to grasp is that will create the mindset and the habit that you are saving. But as well, if you have a savings, and even Brian Tracy told me that if you have a debt, if you have a loads of debt, let's say, and own loads
Yeah.
of money into the bank, and then if you create a habit of putting money onto the savings every week, every day, and just visualize that your savings are growing, and you focus on this energy of saving money, you will create more opportunities to save even more money and gain more money, even if you're full of debt. Because he was saying about the scenario of guy who lost about $400,000, 400,000 pounds or dollars, something like that. And he was telling a story, and then he was putting like $1. Yeah, that was dollars then. He was putting $1 every day into the basket, and he was just visualizing himself. And because he created this mindset and this ritual every day, that he create loads of opportunities and loads of ways, and now he's financial free, and he is actually earning more than 400,000 pound dollars per month now. Then he paid off the debt, and he has even bigger savings, and now he's teaching about that. Then even if you don't have the money, you can still starting with something. But what this will give you is give you awareness that you have a savings, and because of that your mind will work differently.
Yeah. I got it.
You got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
I see the difference right now.
Yes, but you will notice the difference when you're gonna really take this basket or whatever glass and start putting those pounds into that, and then end of the month go to the bank and just with the big smile saying, thank you that I have a savings, thank you that I've applied this ritual, thank you because my children are gonna learn that how to create a, I call this golden duck or golden ghost, ghost. What do you call this? Quack, 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 quack. What do you call them?
Goose.
Goose, yeah, golden goose. Yeah, and you create the golden goose, and because of that, actually, other people learn from you. Then you actually have an impact on others when you do that. Okay.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, that's the idea, to become an example to my kids.
Exactly. Then don't even do this for yourself, but do it for your kids. And because of that, you will notice a big difference. Some people has to be motivated by their kids than themselves, because they don't feel that they can be able to achieve this or that. But the good motivator is children. That's why I target you, as because I know, Wojtek, you have a children. Then
Yeah,
it's good
yeah, that's
motivator
right.
factor. Like I'm doing loads of things now for Emily. You know and pushing myself to raise her age. Okay, folks. That's why I'm gonna run the Napoleon Hill Mastermind. Then, if you are interested, let me know, because Paul Gordon wants to have 6 people in a group, and there is already 6 people who wants to go ahead with that. And then I'm gonna, if anyone of you is interested to study the Napoleon Hill book, it's I don't know if you hear, but it's a book of the most successful people living in 19th centuries in America, and that's the principles all the person development gurus are based on. Okay, thank you, Wojtek, for sharing, and we're gonna move on to Catherine.
Yes. Hi.
Yes.
Yep.
What did you got it from this session, and what you gonna apply, and maybe you've learned from some of the comments of our colleagues in the mastermind.
Um, what am I going to apply?
Yeah.
Um, let me think. I suppose just trying to put everything into practice, and carrying out what you've talked about before. So I think it's all just about putting it all into practice. I mean, I've found a lot of what we've covered quite powerful, and I can see how it works, but it's just trying to keep that motivation up, to keep at it.
Yeah.
Because it drops off at times.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I find it very useful.
Yeah, and it's very powerful, and it's very important that you do study and you do surround yourself by like-minded people.
Yeah.
That's why
Mhm.
I whenever I start my personal development career, and I was going to loads of masterminds, going seminars, study the books. I just fed my mind, and I switch off the TV. I put on incantations, affirmations, something which brings my mind focus on my goals, writing gratitude books and things like that. Then you because you started, it's good, but
Mhm.
remember, your mind is still occupied and your environment is still occupied by negative impulses. And yes, you have a
Mhm.
once a week good impulse for 10 weeks,
Mhm.
but now you have to think what
Mhm.
else you're gonna do, because if you're gonna now finish your journey with personal development, then you will go back where you were, because your paradigm
Yeah.
needs at least 2-3 months to change your habits.
Mhm.
Do you
Mhm.
understand?
No, well, I have tried to sort of change the way that I think about things. In the past, I would have just accepted, say, for example, something that I thought I couldn't do,
Uh-huh.
and I just have decided, no, do you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do this and try and remove the obstacles for it happening. So instead of just saying, rolling over and saying, right, that's not going to happen, I've allowed it to, I've given myself permission to say, yes, I can do this, and remove some of the obstacles and do something that I haven't done before. So I'm in the process of doing
Doing that.
something at the moment.
Very good, very good. Well done.
I don't know if that makes sense to you, but
It does,
it makes
but
sense to me.
you need to really put some like stickers or something that you do those rituals and applying into the actions. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for sharing, Hugh.
Okay.
Thank you, Hugh McGrew.
Yes, Daniel?
Yes, Hugh. Can you tell me what did you got from that session and what you gonna apply? Maybe from some of the comments, or please share, because when you share, people are gaining loads of informations, and which they can apply.
Yeah, more of I suppose tonight. You just know that I felt that my own energy was low tonight, but a tiredness, whatever else. And you can also not also see the negative, how that can affect yourself and on the group if you're not giving your all. So I think that's awareness as well, where you have to watch that, you know, because it's sometimes unfair to yourself, but more unfair to others when you're not giving your all.
Yes. Okay.
So just more, it's all about awareness. Be more aware of these things and how they can affect yourself and others.
Okay.
And then it's all then about for future when you're having meetings, doesn't matter what it is, just be better prepared.
Yes. Very good. Preparation. What is the definition
Yeah,
of luck? Preparation meets opportunity equals luck. Yeah. Then always be
yeah.
prepared. Well done. Yeah. Thank you for that. That was powerful. Thank you. Okay. Andrew Jack.
Yes, Daniel.
Yes. What did you got it, and what resonate with you? Maybe some of the comments as well, and maybe you want to share
Yeah,
something.
well, I think I don't know whether it hasn't been specifically mentioned, but there's a paragraph or part of that chapter where it talks about how you make yourself or get yourself ahead of the competition. Particularly in our sector, I tend to get a bit kind of concerned about the amount of competition and the level of competition in our industry. But I think what that chapter, or certainly a section of that chapter, would highlight is it doesn't take an awful lot to make you better than the competition and give you the razor's edge. And I think that's quite an important point that I've taken out of that, actually. That, you know, we shouldn't focus on the competition, should be focusing on what we can do to make ourselves ahead of the competition, and make ourselves better. Because as it highlights, you don't need to do an awful lot to make yourself a lot better than they are. And that's quite important for me because it's very relevant at the moment in our sector.
Yes.
In terms of the other things that you've mentioned, I mean, obviously, with regards to the staff, yes, we do have kind of meetings, but I wouldn't say that it's particularly well structured, and we don't necessarily focus on mindset and such. Like, we maybe talk about things that are annoying the staff and things we can do better, but perhaps we need to sort of focus them on sort of certain targets and goals and being able to achieve, you know, everybody working together to achieve those. So that's certainly worthwhile. And then, as you and I have spoken about before, the importance of getting into the savings habit. I think that's something else that's been reiterated again this evening, which is important.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is very powerful that you've said that, you know, that you're doing your meetings, but it's not about the mindset, it's about what doesn't work and things like that, what has to be improved. Now, if you will create a razor edge and you will step up and says, let's create let's change our attitude and let's focus on our attitude, will make a huge difference towards phone calls to your leads, to your clients. You will generate more work, and you will generate more clients, because if your team attitude change, your clients will feel that, and your clients will give them, you know, work or money, basically. But imagine if someone from your team is calling and is low energy, what Hugh said. If you're not prepared and you are going for that, then, you know, you might get negative results. And as well, what you've said about focusing on the competition. Yes, I remember when I was having hairdresser salon, and one of the girls was stealing money from me, and then she left and she opened her own hairdresser, and I was angry about it, and I was like, F girl, she stole my money, all that stuff. And I was focusing what she does and I have to improve and all that. And then I was focusing what she does, and they are doing this, they are doing that. And I was actually focusing on competition. And because of that, she was growing, and I didn't know how the hell I can grow myself. And the more I was angry and the more I was focusing on her as a competition, I was going down, and I was having less clients and less clients. My attitude was unacceptable. I was really bad form. I was meeting my workers, and I was a nice person, and you know, and this create a bad energy because I was actually focusing on the competition. I wasn't focusing how to grow my business. I was always focused what she does and what did she do again, and things like that. And it's very powerful that you do focus on yourself, because remember, what you put energy to grows. When you put energy to your competition, you will grow your competition. If you put energy to yourself, you will grow yourself. Is that clear, Andrew?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
That's clear.
Yeah, focus on beaver, and focus how much you can improve your business. Focus how much you can improve, how much you can increase the leads and the new clients and convert them, and just focus on yourself. Don't think what other competition does, that they have a cheaper things and all that stuff, because what you are actually doing, you're growing them as you think. The moment you decide to think about them, the moment that's the same moment you grow them.
Yeah, okay.
I understand that you have to know your market. Then yes, do a bit of diligence and find out what they do. But then find out, write down a piece of paper, and then focus what you have to do in your business, and then don't even think what they do. Okay?
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Cool. Then I've sent you folks a take-home sheet, or I call this fun worksheet. And please fill this sheet and send it to me back, because there are action steps you have to take and write down things. Then it will gives you a bit of thinking, and as well will create some homework that you will get some results from this chapter. And the next chapter, it's actually Don't Think in Reserve. It's page 173 and up to 193. Okay? Okay, folks. And as well, I'm gonna run the mastermind group. Then if anyone is interested, then let me know and we will talk about that. I'm gonna still look for the times and the days when we're gonna run that. Okay, folks. I really appreciate for your time, and I want to make sure that you really apply what you've learned, and just take at least 15 minutes after the call and just go through your notes and just put some comments, and because of that, remember, your writing sparks your thinking create your feelings, and your feelings create your actions create your results. Okay? Okay, folks, thank you very much, and I will speak to you next week on Tuesday at 9 o'clock. And please read the whole chapter, because we're gonna have bigger discussion about next chapter. Okay?
Good man.
Okay. Thank you, Daniel.
Okay, thank you so
Thank you.
much, and speak to you next week.
Thanks very
Thank you.
much, Daniel.
Thank you.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Cheers, bye now.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Thank you.